you're loading today. Well, to a previous day when things were okay.
Hey everyone, does capitalism get you down?
Does the constant pressure to be productive get to you?
Are you tired of being a cog in the machine?
Productivity porn has created a business around making you think that constantly being productive will lead to a fulfilling life. However, this mindset has created unhappy, anxious, and burnt out people.
On our podcast, we aim to entertain by providing useless information just for the joy of it and giving you time in the day to stop the gears of capitalism.
And if you're thinking, what's the point of this podcast? Then we invite you to be part of the revolution against toxic productivity by embracing the useless things.
Welcome everyone to episode 27 of the Very Unimportant People podcast.
Do less.
My name is Lidia, and this week I tried mint jello for the first time.
And my name's Courtney, and this week I went to a job training where I had to do the training from the trainer's perspective.
My name's Christian, and this week I had to check over 323 lamps.
Oh,
what? Why? Why would that even be a task that a person has to do?
So I work for my school, and I have a lot of weird jobs, and one of them includes going into a storage and checking if over 323 lamps work, and changing the light bulbs in case it's the light bulbs problem. And
Good
out
Lord.
of about 323, 7 of them didn't work. So
How long did that take you? Is it literally like plug in, turn on, turn off, unplug,
oh yeah,
next?
yeah. Me and my coworkers had a system. We would get about as many as we can loaded onto a dolly, go into another room. I would plug in 6 at a time.
The outlet's not even in the same room?
No.
that sucks.
Oh my god.
So we would have to get them all from storage. Me and my buddy would plug in 6 at a time at a power bar, because on the second day, that's when my boss gave us the power bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you think about like an extension cord?
No extension cords. And so then while we were checking the lamps, my other friend, she would wrap them up and put them in nice and neat piles, and then we would count them. And that was my life for about a week.
That sounds really horrible.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds like hell.
Oh, yeah.
to work at a school.
I'm never gonna take turning a lamp on for granted ever again.
I shudder
So
every
that's
time I
just
see
one.
a lamp now.
I'll think of you every time. As you may have noticed, we have a new person on the podcast.
Yes, hello.
Everybody, this is Christian. He is the bassist of Sandpaper Meadows, which is an emerging indie alternative band based in Waterloo, Ontario, whose song Golden Girl you may recognize from one of our past episodes. And in this episode, the song you just heard is called Laugh Away.
Yeah.
Gosh, Courtney.
Sorry, I'm
So
so
Sandpaper Meadows, it's made up of 3 people: Christian, bassist, Shan, who's the lead singer and guitarist, and Connor, he's on drums, absolutely killing it. They just released an EP, The Meadows with Lime, which is streaming everywhere. Make sure you look it up. Check them out on Bandcamp. Also, fun fact about Christian, I went to Fiji with him in grade 12, and I used to call him Vanilla Thunder, and here he is today,
Yes.
still bringing the thunder.
And as we can see, still the vanilla.
Yeah, still
Very, very pale.
nothing has changed.
How many years? My God. Yeah.
I know, right? Too long. So tell us everything about the band.
Everything. Well,
I don't know.
I mean, oh wow, that's a big question.
Let's start with the name, maybe.
The name, I didn't pick it, to be completely honest with you. So the lead singer and guitarist, and whose child this band really is, and who all of our success I really kind of give to him. I hope he doesn't listen to this, because it's the nicest thing I've ever said.
Shout out Shan.
Shout out
I'm
Shan.
gonna send it to him.
So he came up with it, and he's like, it's a working title, whatever. And I was like, kind of sucks. So maybe let's do something else.
Oh no.
And then about a year in, we didn't come up with anything. And I was like, you know what? It's growing on me, and no one else has named that. Because I found out very quickly every band name that's good is taken.
Oh,
So
similar to podcasts,
yeah, very similar to podcasts.
So you know what? We rolled with it, and I'm very proud that that is the band name. You know, I'm very happy with it.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it too.
very unique,
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. So how long have you been playing the bass?
I started playing the bass. It wouldn't have been long after I started playing the cello, so I'm going to say I started playing the bass probably around grade 8 or 9. Reason I started playing the bass was because my very good friend, he was like, "Hey, you play the cello?" And I'm like, "I do." And he's like, "Well, I want to be in a band, so you have to be the bassist." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh,
And he's
can't I be the celloist?
And so he gave me his dad's bass, or he loaned it to me, and I fell in love with the instrument. I like that. Oh well. I like
That is so cute.
I like that it's kind of, it holds everything together. It's way more important than people realize. As many
big time.
jokes as I get. And it's just fun. I don't know. The spotlight isn't really on me, which is nice. So if I mess up, no one really notices. But
I've heard it's like good to be the bassist in bands because when you get famous, like you still get the money, but you don't have to be like in the public eye.
yeah,
as
no
much,
one
like,
cares.
paparazzi
No
following
one
you. It's
cares
just
when you're the
chill.
bassist.
It's the perfect
Yeah,
life.
it really is.
Yeah, such a comfortable amount of fame.
Like, hey, you look familiar. I'm like, yeah, I'm in this band. Oh, really? Can I get your autograph? It's just like, yeah. What?
Right.
Oh, yeah. No one. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm happy with
It's strategic.
it.
I like it.
it is
Less
strategic.
responsibility too.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. How long have you guys been in the music business?
Well, as a band, I guess as long as the EP's been out. I guess, we've been posting, or, Shan's been posting a lot of stuff on SoundCloud. You can also find us on SoundCloud at Sandpaper Meadows. We have a lot of demos on there. So that's been around for a while. I can already hear him yelling at me that it's been way longer than what I'm saying. A good couple years, but the big breakthrough was this EP that I'm very, very proud to be attached to, and, honored to work with these guys, even though it's work and we're just kids, and it's not that big of a thing in the grand scheme of things, but it's big to us and it's big for me, so I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, man, I wish I could be in a band.
You want to be in a...
Do you take triangle players?
Yeah, sure.
Are you jumping ship, Lidia?
I might be.
Man, first sponsor
I'll
already
do both
done.
on the side. I know, right? The fame really got to my head. Now I think I can be a big time triangle player. So. Oh, what's up, you guys? This is the part of the podcast where we talk about the poll.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Week. Hey, what's up, you guys? So thank you so much for coming to this part of the podcast. We're really excited that you're here, and we love it when you guys interact with us on Instagram. So make sure you do all the time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, sometimes earlier, but normally it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So let's just stick with that. The first question that we had about the 40-hour work week from last week was, is telling people they need to be passionate about their jobs a ploy by capitalism to make them okay with working a 40-hour work week? Long-winded, my bad. But it worked because 93% of you said yes.
Amazing. Guys, we're all just so exhausted.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're just tired. Nobody
Thank you.
wants
I
to be
see you.
passionate about
I hear
anything
you.
except their
Yeah.
hobbies. We get it. The next question was, would you be a housewife/husband if you could? 47% said yes. 53%
Lower than I
said no.
thought.
I agree.
Guys, you can stay home and do nothing, and somebody else pays for your lifestyle.
Yeah. Sometimes
Pretty
work
good.
is life, so maybe that's hard. Maybe it's hard. I don't know. You can still work at from home though. Like if you're an artist,
Yeah.
you could just be like a housewife, but also make music or something. The next question was, do you believe that the Titanic was really the Olympic? And this one is 50-50.
Wow.
What up, guys? Love that.
I'm surprised that many people like knew
Me too.
what the Olympic was.
Apparently
I
it's a
wouldn't know.
popular conspiracy theory.
I didn't know.
I learned about it for the first
I
time
don't think that
last
many
week.
people listen to them.
The next question was, do you think that J.P. Morgan was trying to get insurance money by sinking the Titanic? And this is some hot tea. 67% said yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's the tea right
That's
there.
the tea. And you know
Right?
what's even bigger tea?
What?
Is that this conspiracy theory was started by QAnon and we all just agreed to it.
It's, you know what? We don't have to agree with everything they do. It was just a good theory, I guess. Wow, that's crazy how it has so much reach and like more people believe that the JP Morgan theory than the Olympic theory. Dude, go off. I mean, that's crazy. I wonder if everyone else knows the QAnon thing. Well, now you do.
Now you do.
Oh god. So make sure you tune into our Instagram next week for more fun shit like this. We love it when you guys interact with us. That's at very.unimportant.people. And let's get back to the podcast. So guys, Christian is here to give us some awesome opinions. So we're really excited. I know this is a surprise to everybody, but yeah, it's gonna be lit. So Christian,
Yes.
the ball is
Take it
in
away.
your court.
All right. This.
Give us
Okay,
some
cool.
opinions.
I got a big firing one at you.
I'm so lit.
You guys ever hear of the singularity? Excuse me.
Singularity.
Yeah,
Singularity?
the singularity.
By BTS.
The Singularity?
Did you say by BTS? Well, all right.
They have a song called Singularity.
That's pretty cool. Is it a good song at least?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Shout out
So,
to all
yes,
the
in a sense.
shout out to BTS.
Have.
Man, they're already on point. So it's essentially what it is it's the hypothetical point in time at which the growth of technology, it's just like it'll oh boy, it's like I will essentially become uncontrollable and irreversible and will kind of change humanity to ways we can't even see.
Oh my god.
So it's
Is that like AI?
I was
Like all
just-
those movies where AI just like
yeah,
takes over? Like what's the movie?
yeah,
Next Machina?
it's like with if things will be good, you know, humanity will kind of meld with technology, and then the $5 word will transcend the limitations of essentially our biological needs.
Oh my
and-
god. Wait, so we'll become robots too? Like we'll become machines?
It's
as well?
like the cool
Or-
part
or-
is it's more than that. It's not just we're robots. We're not people, but we're not robots. We're something completely else. Because the growth of technology is incredibly exponential, right? Like if you go
Right.
back to the 20s and you're like, hey, look at this in my pocket, it does everything. Like you almost like you could, someone from the 1920s couldn't quantify the kind of technology we have now. So if you were to kind of put the 2021, like where we are in that perspective, just imagining the kind of technology and how things will develop, you almost can't.
Scary.
I honestly think it's exciting because in my mind, it'll expand so much that we'll get to the point of gods almost, where we won't need to real eat, sleep. We'll just exist. We won't die. We can create things just out of not out of nothing, but it'll be like, what do you want to do today? I feel like making a planet. So you just make life. This is fun. You just play around with elements, play around with anything. The possibilities to it are, in my mind, truly, truly incredible. Like
I have so many questions.
Me too.
If nobody dies, are people still being born? Like, what do we do with the population?
I mean, at that
if
point,
no one
we'll
dies?
transcend the point of populations. We won't need to reproduce. We'll just everyone will
just
just
vibe?
be. We'll vibe. Yeah,
Whoa.
That's so cool. So there's just like a permanent human race.
it wouldn't be human.
It would be like,
permanent.
okay, so here's
Right.
what this kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of that episode of Black Mirror. I hate to bring
Love
it to
it.
Black Mirror, but maybe they did it first. Of when they die and their memories get transported into that like heaven area. I don't know if you guys remember this
Never
episode.
There was
seen
a
it.
whole
But
series
basically-
created about this. It's on Amazon
Oh,
Prime. Yeah.
Oh,
You get,
so
like,
their
uploaded
entire
to heaven.
being. Yes, you get uploaded into this area where you just live and survive, and it's all of your memories and all of your emotions and everything, but your physical body is left behind on Earth, and it doesn't exist anymore, but you can exist eternally in this, like, false space, false reality kind of thing, like a simulation pretty
Okay.
much, and you can just exist in this simulation with like everybody else who's died, and you can be reunited with a bunch of people. So in a sense, you're just waiting, like your life on Earth is just like waiting to be uploaded into this area, or you can choose to like die forever. But
Opposed
you
to
can be
dying
uploaded
for
into
only a
this-
little bit, right?
yes,
I would like to die for a little bit. That'd be a
die,
great option.
just die for like a week,
Yeah,
and then
just-
you'll be back.
Just a peace out. Just a
Yeah,
little
it's,
reset.
it's a little.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah.
little. This quarantine's been a little
Just
too
scrub
much.
your brain clean of everything and then just come back. Oh man, that's so wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
after really like looking into this, two things I big takeaway. I used to be and still kind of am. Future very scary. Just in general, whatever. But now I'm a little more excited because a guy predicted that the singularity would probably happen in about 2045. Some people think it might even happen. It might even
Uh-oh.
happen sooner. Like,
We're gonna be alive?
oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, if you're listening to this podcast in 2042, make sure you
Yo, fam,
follow
get
us on
ready.
Instagram.
us know.
And yeah, there was some, what is it, astrobiologists and other like futurists. They have made the point of like they're talking about advances in AI, and like especially with pattern recognition and self-learning. Those are the things that we really have to watch out for, in the sense of that's probably is what's going to take us there sooner. But the second thing that I really, really took away from learning about all this is how in God's name have I never heard of Ray Kurzweil? Have you guys ever heard of this dude? Oh
No.
man.
No.
Who is
He okay, so he was included.
I have a
Oh,
quick-
sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if this is taking it too far back, but is this like simulated area, is it still on Earth? Like, I'm confused still about where we exist as a human race.
Are you talking about Black Mirror?
Not the human race.
No, I'm talking about the singularity. Like, where
When we become
Oh.
gods, are we still here
is it
on
still
Earth?
Earth?
Yeah.
Where is our home
It would
base?
be-
Like, how are we
it
going
would-
to
Virtual
exist?
space?
It would be
Mars?
probably, well, me speaking as someone who clearly is very knowledgeable on this, as an expert, some might say. Odds are it'll happen on Earth. Like it's hard to think about, but obviously we're not really in any time soon moving to any other planet. Like they say Mars, but that's gonna be kind of hard. Odds are it'll.
Big,
Yeah, like Earth is gonna be our
Just a
is
little.
gonna be our main base of operations for a bit. So it's hard to say how it would come about, but it'll probably happen on Earth, and it'll be almost like, it won't be like a quick snap and then it happened. It's like the constant integration with technology will just take us further and further and further and further, to the point we'll almost realize, man, we can't, there's like no turning back almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is it like evolution? Like, is it kind of like creating a new species
Sort of.
human?
It's like it's almost like for lack of a better word, like fake, not fake evolution, but like what's the, yeah, it's like man-made
Man-made
evolution
evolution?
almost, where we're kind of taking it into our, yeah,
GMOs.
we're gonna be GMO people, where we're just gonna take it into our
So-
own hands, and then something will happen.
How do we become gods, though? Like, are we using the definition where to be a god you have to be in a space of like omnipresence and omnipotence over a group of people, or is it just in terms of power and being able to manipulate
When
matter?
I say, I guess I should say like gods in the sense because I don't know how we're gonna get there. To be honest, I wish I did. Then I could speed the process up. But
Slow it down. So I still have stuff to do.
it'll like in the sense of time and death and just general like human needs or any like social constructs we have, they won't mean anything to us anymore because it's just like we don't need this. I don't need to be on Earth now. If I want to just go off into the universe and figure something out or go build something somewhere, I can. I don't need to. I'm not constrained by
A 9 to 5.
by a
for
9 to
example.
5. I'm not constrained by biology. It's very like have you guys ever seen Love, Death and Robots?
No, I've seen it. Like I've seen it on Netflix, but I've never watched it.
Shout out to Love, Death and Robots. That series is mint. It's so good. It's like Black Mirror in the sense of every episode's different story, but it's cool because they're not connected and it's not in any universe. It's like every episode is a different story with a different animation style. And it could be about anything. So there's one episode called When the Yogurt Takes Over. And so the somehow yogurt gains consciousness and then essentially starts bringing people. They're like something along the lines of we're going to help you become a perfect society. And then America's like, well, what do you want in exchange? And the yogurt's like Oklahoma. And so they gave the yogurt Oklahoma and they start essentially building humanity into this perfect race. I'm not going to spoil what happens after that, but
Okay.
I kind of lost my point because I got really excited about about Oklahoma, Love, Death, and Robots. But progression might look something like that. But again, the whole point about it is about the singularity is that we just can't know. It's just it's like even pushing the example back even further. It's like trying to explain the science of splitting an atom to a caveman. You're not doing that. Like there's just so many previous building blocks that it's just it might as well be magic.
Yeah, you
So
couldn't
how do we
explain
know
it to
about
me.
it then?
It's
Did cavemen know about atoms? Were they like, we predict that in
It's-
20,000 years,
it's
nuclear bomb?
it's like a prediction. I don't know who came up with the
Okay.
theory, but it's like a prediction where if you look at the progression of how technology works and how it's just integrated into humans' lives so quickly and how it's advanced us so quickly, like in the span of like our of one individual's life, they went from watching the moon land to this phone in my pocket has better technology than the rocket taking people to the moon did. So yeah, like it's like in that way, that's kind of how people came up with it. They think, okay, if that's that kind of progression, what's going to happen later and later and later and later? And it's just you can't fathom what's going to happen, which is really cool.
Are you familiar with simulation theory?
Ever since your thing on simulation theory, I started reading about it, and I'm like, we might be in a simulation. Yes, I'm very familiar.
Yeah, okay.
We might be in a simulation
Because
big time.
this-
I'm pretty sure we are.
This reminds me of simulation theory. And like, what if this singularity theory thing has already happened? Because that's the theory behind simulation theory, is that technology already progressed past that point, and they progressed to such a point that they were able to create these simulations for people to live in, and that we're living in one of those simulations.
It's possible.
So what if it's already happened?
And then we finally hit the singularity in the simulation, and then we wake up, and they're like, "Hey, you did it!
Is that how we
About
get
damn
out?
time!"
But But that means that we're not gods. Like, I thought that the point is that we're
like
become
gods.
like gods type of
Like
thing.
like
you know
we
what I
have
mean? And that we have
power.
this, like, power. Yeah, but I don't know if we're there. Or maybe it's just because someone else has power over
Or
us.
we're just
which is just a
not
computer,
real.
just a machine.
And
Yeah.
the individual,
We're just part of the
yeah, the
simulation.
individual who created the simulation just had enough I'm going to say power, I guess, capacity to create all
Yeah, I
these
guess so.
individuals with their own memories, personalities, and whatever. And we're not real. We're just a figment of someone's science project.
Could you imagine if we were like a grade 5 science project?
The equivalent of a
Oh my
great, oh
God.
man, insulting.
That's what we're living right now. That'd be amazing.
Oh my god! And they're like, "Uh-oh, I don't know what
They
happened."
keep killing the Earth. I don't
It's
know what's going
accidentally
on.
Sped up. Gotta figure out
And
how
the
to
poor
get it
kid
right.
gets just a big ass like F on their planet in simulation.
Aw.
We would
Yeah.
get an F.
Yeah, we would.
We honestly would. It's not going
We're
very
pretty
well.
bad.
I know, right? So this guy, what's his name again?
Oh,
Don
Ray,
James?
Ray Kurzweil. Yeah, he's
Oh,
the
wow,
dude
yeah.
who predicted that the singularity, 15 years ago, he predicted that the singularity would occur in about 2045. But he thinks it's with the advances in quantum computing, which is a whole other. Not even let's worry about it. But anyway, so the reason why I could not believe I had never heard of this guy is so he is included by PBS as one of the 16 revolutionaries who made America. He's also credited by Inc. magazine.
Made
Yeah,
America?
like in terms of technological
how?
advancements.
Like Hamilton.
Yeah.
Alexander Hamilton and Roy.
He like wasn't
No,
a
no, no,
founding
no, no,
father.
not like that, not like that.
Where's his musical?
He deserves one.
Inc. magazine also named him as Edison's rightful heir.
Wow.
Like there's on top of like a bunch of other, he has like 20 something doctorates that were just kind of given to it. They're honorary doctorates because of the things he was able to invent. And I was looking at the things he was able to invent, and it doesn't seem like a big deal. Like he was able to create, he advanced pattern recognition technologies. And I guess he also developed tools for like blind people and musicians to just help them be more like effective in life. But I'm guessing that is like the base that he created for people to build on what he made, and that's why he's so accredited in that way. I just can't believe I've never heard of this guy because he has so many things.
He made America.
He made America. He should be up there. I want to see his musical. I also want to know.
I want to see him on
I want
a
to know how to
bill.
pronounce his
On some
last
money.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
sorry,
be great,
Ray.
too.
I think I butchered it.
I called him Roy like
Roy.
5 minutes ago, so it's okay.
I'm pretty sure I called him James, so don't even worry about it.
This poor guy.
Oh my god, he's
bother.
just not getting any of the recognition he deserves. Not on this podcast, not
You
in
know
the grand
what?
scheme of
If you
things.
get like 20
Poor
something
guy.
honorary doctorates, he's fine.
How does an honorary doctorate work? I've always wondered this. Does that mean you just skip school?
I think it's
They're just
I
like,
think
you
it's
did
like you
it?
do something really good and the school is like, bro, we can't teach you any of that. Here, just take this. Just please, yeah.
Do you still get all of the full like?
University experience? Probably
I guess a
not.
degree doesn't. No, but like, can you do the same thing with that degree? Like, if you were to go to a university and be like, I want to teach here, I have a doctorate. Do you think you could? Like, do you get the same? I don't know what to call it, but capabilities.
Probably. I mean, to a point.
Can you
Yeah,
be a professor?
you probably 100%. I feel like if you were like, hey, I have 20 something honorary doctorates
That's
and
true,
I want to
that's-
teach at your school because I made this, and be like, yeah, go.
Right, you like created
That's true.
a whole form of academia that nobody has
I
any
built
idea
this
about
country.
except
You
for
don't even know my name.
Yeah, poor guy. He's been through so much. Ugh, good Jesus, man. If I was living in the Singularity, dude, the first thing I would do is like just get the most comfortable bed like ever. I know you wouldn't have to sleep, but lying in bed is such a luxury. It's
It
such
is.
a
It
good
really is.
feeling.
It
I would
scares
want
me
that to
though.
live on. Oh, also, sorry, Courtney, real quick.
No, it's okay.
Would we have feelings in the singularity? Like, would we feel like joy and pain?
I-
and
Could we
suffering?
manipulate our
Honestly, I
feelings? Could we just
feel
be
like
Or could we like, yeah, we feel suffering and we're
I
like,
feel like we would just be past the
be
point
creepy.
of that. Honestly, like the
no emotion?
what would the point of life be?
there wouldn't be, or like either that or like whatever you make of it. I mean, what is the point of life for someone who has godly status? You know, like it's already fine. It's already hard.
okay.
Yeah, it's already
For
hard to
God.
find the point of life just for like us. So imagine someone who is just outside, you know, time and mortality and everything. It's just like what's the point of your existence? That's maybe why, if the simulation theory isn't right, maybe that's why humans are around, because that whole god guy was like, I'm bored and life has no meaning, I'm gonna make something.
Aw, that's kind of the solution right there. Guys, if you feel like your life has no meaning,
Yeah, go
make something.
grow a plant or something.
Like a god
yeah,
would.
that too.
Aw. A plant
Plant
works.
I feel like it sounds scary though to have so many options. Like I already feel stressed out about the amount of options of things that I have to do with my life. If I had godlike capabilities, like what would I do? Like there's just too much to choose from. We already have such an issue like finding our passion, you know? What if there were
right?
infinite
Yeah, there's
options? Like you could create a society, you could lie in bed all day, you could
Imagine they
Make
instill
cats.
capitalism into the singularity.
No.
They're like, you have to pick something. You have to either make a universe, make an ecosystem, or create a black hole. You have to decide.
Have you guys ever heard of
that would
the
suck.
comic The Watchmen?
I
I've
have. I
I have
It
didn't
was
know that was a comic though. I
it
thought it was a movie.
was a comic, and then it was a long ass movie, excuse me, and recently now it's a TV show. But there's a blue guy, and his name's Dr. Manhattan, and he's like the closest thing to a god in the sense of, again, he can't die, doesn't have to sleep, eat. He'd like a big arc for him was him just like losing his humanity because he's like, I'm above everything on this planet. I don't need any of this. And so there's like I forget what he says, but it's like a pretty famous little panel, and it's him. He went to Mars because, you know, like fuck Earth, and he and he's just kind of sitting on a rock just on his own trying to figure out like, all right, now what? Because there's just, what do you do when you're a god, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
I
too
mean,
much.
I feel like it would be really fun at first, maybe. And then
then you
yeah,
live
and then it just gets to a point. It's like, okay, this sucks. I can't die.
If you can live forever, but if you have all that power, you probably can die for about like a week or whatever.
That's true.
know? If you have all the power ever, you could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna take a nap for a cool 100 years and
Take a
just
break.
wait for this to all feel fresh again and feel
And then you wake
meaningful
up
again.
and it's just like,
Aw.
still sucks.
And it's all the same.
A couple thousand years later.
I would give myself amnesia every day. So every time I'd be like, oh my god, a planet
Every
every day
day's a
would
new
just be
day.
amazing. Yeah, baby. The best way possible.
I
Man.
actually, speaking still of Mr. Ray K. That's what I'm gonna start calling him, just because I'm not gonna. Yeah, Ray K.
Ray K.
He
Ray K.
has so he wrote a bunch of books. One of them is just called it's called The Singularity is Near, which just gives me like super crazy person vibes, you know, like the end is nigh. And so yeah, whatever. And
Does he support the singularity? Is he excited for it? Or is he like, it's
I
near, watch out.
the vibes
it's gonna
I
be
got is that
bad."
he's just like, it's happening. I'm right. It's happening. That's about it. I don't know. It
Okay.
didn't seem like he was unhappy about it. It very much of just like an educating standpoint. So in this book, he describes what's called the law of accelerating returns, and that predicts, like I was talking about before, an exponential increase in technologies like computer and AI. And so that's what's leading to the singularity, and the proper merging of machine intelligence and human intelligence. And once those are merged, we've reached the singularity, and that's why we won't be fully human anymore. But he describes it pretty interestingly. So he says how like the exponential growth of technology is deceptive. How it's like very flat, and then someone comes up with like something real smart, and it shoots straight up. Because like the Industrial Revolution, someone came up with, hey, maybe if we burn this, we'll go faster, and then everything, it just like they were off to the races, and then
capitalism happened.
And so that's why it's really, really hard to predict when it's going to happen and how it's going to look, because more often than not, big revolutions, it's just nothing, and hey, I have an idea, and everything explodes off that, which is just hella exciting to me, because it could be anything. It might not be the limits of AI and computer. It could be developments of technology in like genes, and so we could like reverse aging, change how you look. The whole what's the thing with the babies?
We can like already do that though, right? Like, what if it's already kind of started? Because I was just thinking about like how we have like we put like pacemakers inside of people and like literal technology inside of humans to like make them live longer and manipulate
the human
them
technology integration
like biology
is only getting more and more developed, and that's also so exciting for me because I don't want to die. So like, pump me full of the machines and make me younger.
I feel like I don't want to die, but I also feel like I don't want to live forever.
I feel like I would get tired of it. I've thought about this when I was like in high school and I was like obsessed with Twilight. I was like, would I want to be a vampire or a werewolf? Because werewolves die eventually, but vampires live forever and they can't be killed unless you do like a specific thing. But werewolves can die of injuries, right? So it's like you still kind of have your mortality and you have that risk associated with living. But if you're a vampire, it's like you've won and it's boring. You just have to live for 200, 300, 400 years. Like once, I don't know, like Edward Cullen mastered the piano, and then what? It's just there's so many things you can do.
So much time to fill.
Read every book. Like he's done everything, and he just like lives in the forest alone, just day to day, just trying to get by. I guess, I don't know. Maybe in the singularity, like we would be more entertained and we wouldn't really care that we were living day to day. Like I think we're putting maybe too much stress on the fact that we are humans right now, and we think that we're going to still be humans when we're in the singularity. But that's not necessarily true. Like we would be something that isn't human, so we wouldn't probably have these worries about what am I going to do tomorrow? Like I'm bored.
That is honestly, now that you bring that up, though, that's true. Like there's no human constraints to that at all. The one thing
that's
and
sad.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm not looking forward to it because I like that I'm
no.
human.
I'm sorry. We fucked it up for you.
Damn it. Now what is there to look forward to?
Sorry, Christian.
Second album.
I also have a quick question, because I know that we like to talk about how it's going to advance to this point where like we're perfectly merged and everything is awesome and like we're just being awesome together. But I feel like before that happens, AI will take over and start a war. Maybe I've seen too many movies and I've seen too many things about technology becoming autonomous and having thoughts and feelings and then deciding that it hates the human race and it hates what it's done to the earth and it hates everything about it. Like, have you seen those memes of that robot learning everything about the universe and then becoming extremely depressed? I feel like that would happen, and it would be this horrible turnaround where it goes from being our most impressive creation to being the thing that causes our destruction.
So deep.
And maybe the scientists that are making these AI robots are like want to end it all. Because they're the ones who are doing this shit. They're the ones who are like making these robots, and they know a lot, presumably, because they're scientists and they're like technologists and they're, you know, masters at creating robots. So presumably they know everything bad about the Earth too, and then they're going to teach that to a robot. Like, what do you think the robot's going to do?
Man, scientists are they're crazy. Like, you guys know the large, you know the large hadron collider? Oh,
Yeah, the one in
Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Yeah, so what it is it's like kilometers underground, like in a big circle, and what they do is they fire electrons or atoms at each other. I'm not a scientist, but generally I got a general idea.
Yeah.
They fire like atoms at each other to see what happens, I guess. But the thing is, when they were building it, they essentially had it all put together, everything was dug up, it was good, and they had the on button. And they were like, okay, so there's a chance, because they were doing math and testing what would happen, and they realized there's a chance that we'll smash two atoms with one another and we'll create a black hole and destroy the Earth. And
they were just like, that's a risk
honestly,
we're willing to take for everyone.
I knew it. Scientists want to end it all. Scientists are over this shit. They know how bad the Earth is. They are willing to take that risk. Be like, oh, fuck it. Humanity's not that great anyway.
But I mean, there's really like no consequence if you kill everyone. Like, no one's gonna be mad at you. There's absolutely no consequences.
That's the most
to that.
nihilistic way to look at things. That's so funny.
I'm sorry, but like. Like, if you kill like half the world, everyone's gonna be mad at you. But if you kill everyone, destroy the Earth,
no one will
what
be
does it
mad.
matter? Yeah, not even you.
It's like
this is how nuclear wars are.
It's so.
They're like, fuck it. If we fire a bomb, they're just gonna fire one back, and then there's gonna be no one to hold us accountable.
That kind of stuff is just, it's crazy to me, because I just imagine like they have the on button and they're staring at it, and they're just like.
What were the odds?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it was enough that they had to talk to a lot of people, and enough people were like, "Yeah, do it. I dare you."
What the fuck?
That's probably the bigger thesis statement of this whole conversation, is that scientists just like in the pursuit of knowledge, they've spent so much money and so much time at school. They're just like, I don't care about you. I don't care about your dog. Let's plug this in. Maybe we'll create a black hole. We'll see what happens.
Right. I imagine if you know that much about existence and about biology and about how the human body works and how easy it is to fuck it up, like, I imagine that you would kind of lose meaning in humanity, because you're like, oh, we're just a bunch of cells and we just function, and oxygen just flows into the blood and then flows out, and the heart just pumps it all around, and that's all that we are. Unless you're one of those biological
weird religious scientists. I don't trust those people. Right. Pick one.
Love it. Do you have any concluding arguments for this portion of the podcast?
I think that the singularity is now scary, and I don't want it because I like being human. But
I'm sorry.
I think that it is gonna happen, probably gonna happen soon, and that AI isn't as bad. It has as bad. Sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. The complete chance of it being bad is equally as likely for it to be good. If you know what I mean.
Ooh, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, you're right.
That's true. We're just like assuming
if you ever see the movie.
But it doesn't necessarily.
Have you seen the movie Her? It's a great movie. It's about very high tech AI and how it could be really good for people. It's like a romance.
Maybe that's us just like projecting our humanness onto robots, because like humans are greedy, you know, like capitalism, and
humans are terrible.
So maybe we're just assuming that if robots become autonomous, that they're just going to be greedy and take over and like kill everyone, because that's what people love to do. But that's not necessarily what could happen.
Yeah, if they become autonomous,
it'd be really nice.
Could be like the yogurt
like
from
WALL-E.
Like WALL-E.
The yogurt. All they want is Oklahoma.
All they want is just give.
That's it.
Just give them Oklahoma. Although I'll settle for the Alexa AI right now. I'm not mad about it.
Oklahoma's too big of a challenge for now. Oh, that's funny.
Disgustingly gorgeous, atrociously and beautifully crazed, glowing and and showing the world that you're made like volcano inferno. I'm trying to save you from going exploding away. I know that you're drowning, you're absolutely burning.
All right, guys, welcome to the second half of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the first half. And we have another treat for you because Christian is going to give us another
boy.
opinion. So go for it.
So like my Hobbit brethren, I enjoy barefoot hiking. I very, very much enjoy barefoot hiking, and I think everyone
It's
needs
amazing.
to try
Never
it.
heard of it.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
So what it is you go where you're gonna hike, and you take your shoes off,
Yeah.
and then you do the hike.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, I know.
So you bring
I
shoes.
mean,
with no shoes on?
I mean, I've been told it's unsafe to drive without shoes on, which I don't
Okay,
think
yeah,
that's
that's a good
true,
point.
and I don't understand
I've been
why
told
that's
that's
true.
illegal.
Yeah, I thought that was
Why is
illegal.
it
You're not allowed
illegal?
to drive without shoes on.
Why?
Or flip
I
flops.
don't know why it's illegal.
I see flip-flops because they can fall off your feet. They're not. But why
You can
barefoot?
get stuck and stuff.
What's the difference?
Part of me feels like this is one of those things that your parents tell you are illegal when it's not actually illegal.
You know
like,
what?
the whole like turning on the light when you drive the car, it's not actually illegal. But we all think it is.
That's a
like
good
maybe it's
point.
one of those
Why?
things.
Why?
It's for our safety.
Because you're right, there isn't really any logic.
Yeah,
behind
it makes
the
no
fact that you
sense
can't
to me.
drive barefoot.
But and anyway, I digress.
It's shoe propaganda.
Shoe propaganda.
Shoe propaganda.
Bro, they're just trying to make money.
They're just trying to get us to buy
It all
shoes.
comes
We
back
got
to
the law
capitalism.
involved. It always does, Christian. It always does.
Oh no!
I hate the world. I should become a scientist.
You should. Perfect. A social scientist.
That's what you can do with your god life in 2045.
Yeah, I'll be a scientist,
scientist.
and then ruin the singularity. I'll destroy the
If you
singularity.
just hold off until 2045, you won't have to like do the studying or the university.
That's true.
You
I'll
can just
know
make
it.
yourself a scientist.
Okay, I'll wait until 2045 to start my.
Just wait. Just hold off on it.
Yeah.
If anyone
Anyway,
asks.
Sorry, tell us
anyway,
more
so
about
so barefoot hiking.
Barefoot hiking.
For me personally, I find it helps like. I hate how like not spiritual, like yeah, it
it's
is
okay.
kind of spiritual. I don't like that it sounds like astrology kind of but like
I stand astrology, so don't worry about
Lydia
it.
All
likes
right.
astrology. You're good.
I
You got two sides of the coin here.
right, fair. So
Courtney doesn't care.
it's like
What's your star sign, Christian?
Aries. That's the right answer.
fucking
right?
knew
yeah,
it.
well.
No, just kidding. I
Of course
didn't
you
know.
would. Of course you would.
So yeah. Anyway, when I
Sorry,
do
go
it,
on.
I personally not only do it's like another dimension to hiking where you see and you smell everything, you hear everything, and then you just can really feel where you're walking, and you kind of get almost more connected to where you are. I don't know how true that is. But to me, it feels that way. I feel like if I'm hiking somewhere in shoes, it's like almost like you're talking to someone with a barrier, you know. And then you take your shoes off, and the barrier's gone, and it's like you're really there now. You're really in it. You're properly with the woods almost.
It's like
It-
grounding.
I'm
It
really.
grounds
Oh,
you
okay.
into
I was doing my best to not use the word grounding because.
No, I totally get it.
Um,
I like when I go hiking, I touch
Yeah?
trees. It's like a weird thing that I do, but it
Yeah.
makes me feel better. It makes me feel like that I'm
So,
here,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I'm in the
that's-
woods.
That's why I really do personally enjoy it. And then I found out there's also a lot of health benefits. It's good for like strengthening your feet, your ankles, your lower legs. And although shoes can like offer stability and better movement, it can interfere with like the natural development of ankle and foot stability. That's why a lot of times with toddlers, I read about this, that parents are encouraged to teach toddlers how to walk without shoes so they can actually develop their feet and ankles properly. And
so cool.
I hear this is Dr. Bruce Pinker, who's a board certified podiatrist and foot surgeon. I'm not saying this. He says that shoes can prevent you from using certain muscle groups that can actually strengthen your body. So I'm doing the world a favor by saying just take your shoes off. Just try it. And it's freeing. It's so freeing. It just makes it's so strange. But there are negatives, obviously, like you're more likely to, you can cut up your feet if they're not calloused, or you're more prone to like harmful bacteria like warts.
Tinnitus.
And tinnitus.
Oh, warts are the worst. I used to
I
get
don't
them
think
when I was a
tinnitus
kid.
is a
You could get
bacteria.
tinnitus.
Yeah, I
What's
don't know what that is.
It's like when you step on a rusty nail. It's when you step
That's
on a rusty
tetanus.
nail.
That's tetanus, Lids.
No, I'm pretty sure it's tinnitus.
pretty
Are you actually kidding
sure
me?
it's tetanus.
It's tetanus.
Okay.
I think itis isn't. What is itis? Because the end of the name. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Tetanus.
Tetanus.
Yes. Tennis.
Tennis.
You don't want to get
Don't wanna
tennis.
get tennis.
God forbid.
But yeah, and I also have a gripe. Warts aren't a big deal. They really aren't. Like they're not.
I
you,
believe that, yeah.
You
Love
just
that.
like you have one and it goes away.
How do you get rid of warts?
Nitrogen,
Asking for friends.
liquid
You burn 'em
nitrogen.
off.
Usually you burn them off.
Okay.
Or freeze them off.
Where does
You can get it from,
where
like,
would a
the
person get
drugstore.
liquid
The
from
drugstore, yeah.
The drugstore.
Okay,
Which
we can
is
move on.
just crazy to me.
That's all the
All right,
information my friend needs.
but yeah, I think that everyone, and especially you guys, should try it. Just anywhere there's a good place to hike or like wooded area. It will hurt at first. That's the mental block it will hurt. The mental block I find is like when I first started doing it, it was like tiptoeing almost, where you're like, gotta be careful, and you're always looking down to make sure you're gonna be fine. But that's probably the hardest thing you gotta get over, and then after that it's like a whole new world. Like I used to go for runs a bunch, and I'd do half my shoes on, and then I'd find a nice trail that was like dirt or muddy, and I'd take my shoes off and go for a run that way. And yeah,
Sounds so nice.
That sounds awesome. I run too. That sounds
yeah,
amazing.
it's fun. But people will stare. Yeah.
I was just
That's
about
what I was
to
gonna
ask.
ask. Do you
Yeah,
get, do you get weird
I
looks?
low key thought I was starting to turn into the crazy barefoot guy of Oakville when I was living down there, because people saw me without shoes on, and they were just like, okay, this poor little boy's lost his shoes.
The judgment. Oh yeah, I guess that's something that
Oh,
you'll
no.
have to learn to live without.
How do you feel about have you heard of, what is it called? I think they're called like minimalist shoes or like barefoot shoes.
Yeah, I've
Have you heard of
those
this?
too.
Where they make shoes that make it feel like you're
Are
barefoot,
those
but
the
you're not
finger
actually
toes
barefoot.
shoes?
Yeah.
I think they can look like that, yeah.
I like those. I think
I
that
agree
as a concept they're great. But you see someone wearing them, and honestly, it's weirder than seeing someone barefoot.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I feel like it's a cop-out, and I feel like they're just trying to sell you something that you don't need, because they're selling, like, naked,
Yeah.
they're selling nothingness.
Yeah.
Like, to go
Just take your
barefoot, you
shoes
just
off.
take off your shoe, but they're like, no, let us sell you going barefoot.
Make it less weird and sell you a literal toe sock
Yeah,
that you can walk around.
they're just
in
kind
nature with.
of gross to look at. Speaking,
Trying to get in on that, and I feel like it's also putting up a block around feeling grounded, because if there's still a piece of rubber in between you and the earth, then I don't really see how it's accomplishing the same
it
thing
definitely isn't.
necessarily as like just going barefoot. Like maybe it's building some sort of strength in your feet and toes, but like you were saying, just
yeah,
go
you could
barefoot.
get, like, the
Like,
benefits.
yeah, some of the benefits, but still
it.
same amount of judgment. More money spent for no reason. I guess you are protected against tennis in a way, so maybe that's the benefit.
I mean, yeah.
That's why they make tennis shoes, Lydia, to protect you against tennis.
Protect you
Of course.
against tennis.
I honestly, as much as I bash them, I'd still kind of buy them, to be completely honest. Like, I think it'd be kind of fun. I like,
It would be more free.
yeah, and I'd wear them all the time. But my only problem with that is that shoes make me taller, and I need that. So you know, I'll be. I
How
don't
tall
want-
are you?
How much taller do you think? Like how big
big
are
are-
your shoes?
You got like
I mean,
platforms?
How much do they
if
add
I'm
to you?
wearing
What are you? Your Louis
if
Vuitton?
if I'm wearing like my regular runners, I'll get like maybe another half an inch to an inch. But if I'm wearing like my goth Doc Marten boots, that gives me
At least an
at least an inch and a half. Just, you know, boots are my like my winter boots because they're construction boots, so I get substantially taller, which makes me feel good. No comment on my height, by the way. I'll
Okay, no comment.
I'll let my
We'll leave that up to
I'll let my voice
speculation.
see if that people can get an idea of my height.
I doubt it, but yeah, for sure. Let's go.
We'll make it one of our
What's
poll questions.
Christian's height?
How tall is Christian?
I'm just kidding.
5
How tall is
feet.
our guest?
Nah, do it. I'd really
6'10".
love to see the answers. Do it. Why not?
Okay.
Judging by this guy's profile picture, how tall is he?
This one?
And his voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good profile picture. I missed that. That was a good time. But yeah, anyway.
What about orthotics? Like, have you heard of orthotics? It's like those foot healing
I thought that's
things
just if your feet
where
hurt, you stick them in shoes.
People
Okay.
will make specific insoles based on how you walk or based on like your foot imprint, right? And they'll make specific insoles for you to put to like heal your feet or like give your arch more support or put your ankle back in place. Like, I'm not 100% sure what all the benefits are, but is it beneficial? Okay, I guess that's the question. Yeah.
I did like a little bit of research when you told us this was going to be your opinion, and I like deep dove into just like the shoe world, and I'm pretty sure shoes are kind of not a lie, but like kind of pointless because shoes create a lot of problems. As you were saying, they like weaken a lot of muscles, and apparently people who have like the most issue with like knee and back alignment due to shoes are runners, which are people who literally use shoes the most. So
Makes
like, why
sense.
are we even wearing them? But orthotics are to correct problems that shoes create. Like they make the shoe and then you get problems from the shoe and then they give you an orthotic, but you could just take the shoe off.
What an endless
It's just like the
cycle.
barefoot shoes. You just take it off. It's another like capitalist just market that
we
they
wouldn't-
created
We wouldn't even
to
need
fix your body with the
orthotics.
problem that they
That's, like,
created. I'm sorry
so
if I'm breaking your brain. I'm sorry.
frustrating to me. Where it's just like, okay, clearly what you're doing there is wrong. Stick something on your feet. Okay, sweet. Now that we're hurting their back, let's make them something. Put the thing that hurts their back to fix the back.
Yeah, let's
Genius.
make another thing.
It's like
let's
I'm
sell
just
them another
picturing.
thing.
To fix a problem that we created that they wouldn't have if we didn't invent
It's
the
brilliant,
shoe.
brilliant.
It is brilliant, but like, fuck you. Damn, dude.
Yeah, not happy about it.
So all foot problems
orthotics.
will be fixed if you just like decide to go barefoot instead
Yeah,
of
just walk
orthotics.
barefoot everywhere. I
That's
used to.
interesting. I sprained my ankle a while back, and I'd be interested in trying barefoot walking because like my ankle is still really, really weak. I've also heard real quick that hockey players have really weak ankles because even though their skates go up past their ankles, which is supposed to support the ankle and prevent like injuries
It weakens them,
from
right?
happening, but it actually weakens it. Yeah, and they're known for
they
having
don't have to
super
use that
weak
muscle
ankles
anymore.
Yeah, exactly, because the shoe does all the work
Makes
for
so much
them.
sense.
It's like they got these buff bodies and these tiny ankles.
Guess I'm just
Tiny little
built
baby.
different. Me with my mammoth
toddler
ankles.
Little baby ankle.
I said, I guess I'm just built different. Me with my mammoth ankles.
Me too. I got thick ankles and I'm
I mean,
proud.
I used to hate my what's the word, cankles, but
Cankles, yeah.
nah, I'm happy with it. The only problem, I can't wear high top shoes. That's about it. Yeah, high tops
your
only look
ankles are
good
so
on
big?
skinny ankle people. Can't change my mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's a
that
big
is a big
fact.
fact.
I believe it.
but don't they cover your ankles?
That's fashion.
Don't they? Don't high tops cover
No, but
your
it's like the
ankles?
same kind of thing where if you like wear pants that are too tight on you, where you'll get like a muffin top. Do you
on
know
your
what
ankles.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And that, or it's just
problem.
like someone's like, "Hey, tie your shoes." It's like they are tied. It's just my ankles are widening them.
I just got
I
thick
just got
ankles.
thick
God
ankles.
damn. Let me
A
live.
problem that I never knew about.
I hope that's in like 2030. That's the new thing. Not like thick thighs, but thick ankles.
Thick ankles.
Yo, show me them
Thick
ankles, girl.
I like them thick ankles.
We're gonna.
And ankles is spelled with a CC instead of a K.
Ah.
Thick ankles.
Oh, that'd be perfect. And everyone's gonna be
Oh, we're
barefoot.
predicting trends.
Everyone's gonna be barefoot hiking.
Hell yeah, yeah. Just
love
showing
it.
off those ankles.
Yeah,
Oh man, that would be great. I actually hear that there's electrons in the earth that transfer into your feet.
that's
the vibes.
Through your
that's the
There's-
that's the whole thing with
The
grounding.
internet said spare electrons.
Yeah, that's the whole
Just
thing
spare
with
ones.
grounding
Just as extra.
and barefoot hiking
Where did they
that
come from?
I didn't want to bring up because that's like the that's like yeah
But
that's
we're
like the
making you.
that's the
forcing you to.
pseudoscience of just like yeah and
You
you'll
know what? This is
you'll
good to
absorb
know.
from the earth and you'll suck it through your feet.
Yes, and it says it detoxifies your blood.
Uh-huh.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Guys.
Okay.
Come on. The earth, the vibes, it vibrates, you know?
The vibes, bro.
The vibes just get transferred
Right.
into you through the earth.
Right. You gotta vibe with it, not against it.
Replace it with good vibes.
Dude, exactly. You get it. That's the
Maybe
title
that's
of
why
this
my
episode.
blood's so
You
good.
did it, Christian.
Vibe with it, not against it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no, they don't. You don't suck up electrons through your ankles or
How
your
do you
feet
know?
because that's not how electrons work.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You probably
I have
know a lot
no
more about
counter
science than we
argument
do.
about electrons.
Yeah.
Electrons.
We're waiting till 2045 to become
Right,
scientists.
right,
Yeah,
right,
sorry.
fair.
We'll just have
So-
this conversation later.
Electrons essentially they just go around. Wait, nope.
You got this.
Those
I don't
aren't
remember.
Electrons. Those are neutrons.
Take away his degree.
Okay. Now I
And
need to look
protons.
this up because I forget which one revolves.
It actually might
Electrons
be
revolve.
electrons.
Protons are in the
In the
They
nucleus.
bond with the nucleus.
nucleus, and the electrons fly outside.
Right.
Is that
And then
facts?
the amount of protons that are
this
in
is-
the
Yeah,
nucleus
that orbit
is
them. Yeah,
directly
yeah.
correlates
So
to the amount of. What did I say?
Sometimes
Electrons.
there's an extra.
Yeah, and then they have
Isn't
to make
there?
another ring. 'cause
And there's
an extra.
neutrons.
yeah, so it's proton.
Last time we talked about this was grade 11.
It's protons
Yeah.
and neutrons in the nucleus, and then electrons are around it. And so
Yeah.
there's not like
So, if there are electrons, if there are neutrons, if what's it called again? If there are nucleuses in your body looking to pair with other electrons because there's spares, then it's very possible that those electrons from the Earth are partnering with the electrons in your body, and you're bringing in more from the Earth because they're
Now
looking for partners.
now I could be
They're
wrong,
looking to get
but
rid of their
I'm-
spare electrons. That's how science works.
I'm pretty sure how science
how
works
science
is that when you have protons and neutrons, there has to be electrons with them. You don't just have spare electrons go into the protons and neutrons.
No,
In
you-
order for these to exist, they have to be already there. I'm almost
They are
positive.
already there, but then okay, I see. So the entire molecule would be transferred into your body, not just the electrons, because
Yeah.
they need to be attached to protons.
Yeah, but like dirt molecules don't enter into your blood.
It's not dirt. It's like
No,
oxygen.
it's not the molecules. It's
It's the electrons.
electrons.
It's
Okay.
like oxygen electrons.
Spare electrons.
So when
Detoxes.
but we do. Oh god. But we don't. We're not frogs, Lydia. We
blood.
don't breathe through our skin.
Wait.
That's a
okay. I was
good
like, where are you
fucking
going with
point.
that?
We don't breathe through our skin. So how can the
But
air?
we absorb most of the stuff that's on our skin. Like if you put
I don't
on like
think you-
moisturizer, it gets absorbed into.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't go straight to your. Like you don't put sunscreen on and it
doesn't
goes
go to your
straight to the
bloodstream.
blood. Yeah.
Like, you
guess
can't
so.
be like collagen moisturizer
Yeah.
and like your bloodstream isn't
But they
gonna
make like THC moisturizers and stuff like that, so it kind of does.
it
go
doesn't
into your
get you high
bloodstream.
though.
Oh, it
No.
doesn't.
Ooh.
What's the point?
The clout.
The clout. Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure like the THC helps with skin stuff, or it like might something like that. I don't know, but no, it doesn't get you high. Although that would be
Okay, so
pretty
maybe-
sick if like. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
would
okay.
be-
I was just gonna talk about stupid
It
science
would
again
be-
that I don't
No,
understand.
I'd love no. Hit it. Hit me with it. I was gonna talk about getting drunk by pouring beer on your hands. So like, what do you
Ooh,
got?
we should talk about getting drunk by pouring beer in your butt.
In your... okay, I knew a guy who he had a sign in his house and it said, the whole house will pool together some like it was like $250 if you butt chugged a full beer or one shot. I never did it.
I don't know.
I
if I ever would. That
considered.
sounds bad.
I considered, but I never did it.
You're like $250. Make it 251, and then maybe I'll consider.
that extra dollar, yeah.
Yeah. So
We could
I'm
contribute that.
thinking, yeah, we'll contribute the $1.
Yeah.
We can now.
Yeah, you can with all that ad
have
revenue.
spare. Spare dollar. Okay, so I'm thinking that since electrons just hang out on top of like your skin, maybe it doesn't go into your blood necessarily and detoxify it, but maybe it just does something good for your skin and adds more hydration, I don't know, to the epidermis.
So you're saying
Very good.
that the so you're telling me that you go outside and put your feet in some dirt.
Right.
Your feet are getting the moisture, the electron
Something happens.
moisture.
I know for a fact, I don't know if it's
There's an
electrons or not, but
exchange.
something happens that makes you feel better because on God, okay, my mama told me this, so you can't dispute this. She says that putting your hands in the dirt and working with earth is good for your mental health.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because of the electrons or if it's a psychological thing, but
So
it is true facts.
physical labor is generally good for mental health.
I don't know if it's physical labor.
Or not
though,
physical,
because
I
sometimes
shouldn't
physical
say-
labor-
I agree with you. It's just like the
dirt,
natural
the earth in your
space
hand.
things.
You know what? Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open up a clinic, and I'm with my degree,
dirt.
and it'd be like, okay, I'm here. I'm gonna whip dirt at them. That's what I'm gonna do until they feel
It's
better.
actually a good business
You
idea.
would make so much money though.
Yeah, that's a
If
good
I-
one for like
So
holistic
much money.
healing.
Yeah.
Open in like Toronto.
Toronto or
like
like Queen Street,
some-
you know, like some hippie.
Dirt therapy.
Dirt therapy.
You got something there.
Dude,
I have-
therapy.
People don't know that they could just go outside
Big
to get dirt
facts.
therapy.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
actually
okay, I'm gonna pay $35.
that's
for
actually
dirt
not
therapy.
a
Write
bad
it down.
idea.
Yeah,
Write
it's
it
a
down.
great idea. You should open
We
it.
want royalties
Fine.
though.
At least 5%.
Oh damn.
5%.
Yeah, right, fine. How about a sandwich? How about we all just go out for lunch and that will be the royalties?
Those are not our terms.
Ah.
But then who's paying for whose lunch?
We
can't both pay. I guess we can both pay
yeah,
for
it's
each
like
other's lunch,
we
but then
pay
what's
for
the
each
point?
other's.
But then what's the
Then
point?
we're paying money still. We might as well
the
just pay
point?
You know,
for our
I'm
own
sorry. I'm just trying to hang out. You know, my bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not everything's about money.
To a business negotiation. I'm so
What's the
sorry.
point of getting food with
I
like
blame
you? God,
capitalism. I'm so
lunch. I
sorry.
do too. I've been brainwashed.
the algorithms got to you guys already.
I'm so sorry. I don't even know where
Dirt
we were.
therapy because
Dirt
because
therapy.
Therapy.
I like yes, working with Earth is good for you, but like
Yes.
if you don't absorb the electrons and then
All
be
right,
better,
I'll give up the electrons.
And you know what? I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if the electrons thing is a thing, but I'm with you on the like touching
Yeah.
dirt and like being outside and how it's like
Yeah.
good for you and it makes
Good.
you feel better. And there's got to be something there.
I'd
There's
like
gotta
to
be
know.
some
I'd like to know what it
explanation
is
for that.
because you're right. I like even last time I was home, I started weeding with my mom, just because there's a lot of crap in the backyard, and I was like, not that I was down, but I was just like, this is just a whatever day, and I started working, and I'm like, I want to keep doing this. Like this is fun. I'm having fun
Yes.
just doing work. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good
Dirt.
time, and
Yeah.
there's
My
yeah.
mom told me to take off my garden gloves because she was like, you need to touch the earth. Like, you need to touch the dirt to feel better. Like, your hands will get dirty, but like, just take off the gloves. And like, she promised me it would make me feel better. And it did.
Gloves off, boys. You know, when people care about their hands too much, where it's just like you just they're tools. They get dirty, you wash them, you clean them, you're fine. You know, they're just hands. Yeah, two.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess the same with feet. Like, people are like, I don't want to put my feet on the dirty ground.
But you put your feet in like dirty
Yeah.
shoes.
And
Yeah,
dirty
bro.
dirty
Like, shoes
sweaty
are
socks.
gross.
Good point.
I hate shoes.
Some people
and we're like, that's a
and
better
some
alternative.
people even put their
Somehow.
feet in dirty mouths. Yeah. Yeah. Step too far, sorry. Yeah,
I don't want to go there.
Yes, that's a good point.
I hate feet
That's
so
a good
much.
point. There's no electron transfer happening
No,
there.
that's where you get the best kind of electron transfer.
Oh, I guess.
Direct, foot to
Direct.
mouth.
A direct line.
This conversation also had me thinking about yoga, because in yoga you have to take your shoes off before practicing, and they make you do a lot of like stands and holds and balances and all these types of things where you just like use your bare feet, I guess, to hold up your body. And they say that it's like actually really difficult at first for people who just like wear shoes all the time to be able to have and hold these positions. Like tree pose. The first time I did tree pose, my freaking feet were like shaking. Like I could not hold it for longer than like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not used to using those muscles.
And that's what I'm saying. It goes exactly with what I'm saying. Because we're walking around with shoes all the time, a lot of proper ankle and foot, like, muscle development is not being used. So yeah, of course.
But we also kind of like built a world where we can't really be barefoot all the time. Like standing barefoot on concrete or like walking on concrete.
What if everything was
and like
like...
you need shoes if you're working like retail and you're standing all day. Like you need shoes. So we built a world that like you have to buy
What if,
shoes.
imagine if like all roads and sidewalks are just nice
We're dirt.
Good dirt.
That'd
would
be
be
so
nice.
nice.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know why they're not. It doesn't make sense. Like maybe potholes, I guess, but
Because
you still get
humans are
potholes,
low-key
I guess 'cause-
aliens. We don't like it here. We like right angles,
Yeah.
like everything
Oh, wow.
everything flat, everything hard, and it can't be too hot, it can't be too cold. It has to be like just perfect,
It's
you know?
weird.
Humans don't like living on Earth.
Humans really looked at the ground and they were like, "That's completely
Yeah,
sufficient."
they
but we're gonna
really
make a
looked
new
at
one.
Yeah,
the
they were like,
majesty
"I
of
don't
the
get it."
environment and it's just like, that ain't it, chief. Yeah.
We could do it better, but they can't.
And they did it.
I mean,
The world is so much worse
And that's why
off.
that grade 5 is getting an F on his
on his
stupid universe
All
project.
because he created the wrong types of humans who didn't appreciate the beautiful earth that they were placed in.
Any concluding thoughts? Was that it that you wanted to cover for Bear? I'm sorry, that
really
went in so
did.
many directions. I just want to
Yeah,
make
no,
sure that we got
that's-
everything in there.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the scattered way that went. But yes, I generally it's great and everyone should try it more than once because our feet, we got baby feet, is too soft. You need to develop some calluses.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of my questions. Your feet get rougher, not softer? Because I was like, there's exfoliation, so maybe you get like nice soft feet, but no, they get rougher.
Yeah, it's like like do you get like gym calluses if you work out or not? I don't know. Yeah.
That used to happen to me in
Yeah,
gymnastics.
Yeah,
sorry.
all the time.
We would go on the bars.
Yeah,
and
so it's
calloused.
essentially it's like it's like the bottom of your heel and then the pads underneath your toes. Those are what mostly get calloused just because the arch isn't really doing a lot of touching. So that's what really roughs up, and then obviously on your toes and stuff, and depending on how you walk. So yeah, they do get more rough and calloused, but they're not like, because of, you know, the natural exfoliants sometimes, if that's the word to use.
It is, especially for your dirt therapy.
Your feet,
Remember that.
your feet get rough, but not like gross dead skinny. You know, it's just like this is hard
okay.
skin,
Interesting.
but yeah.
Rough but smooth.
Or stronger, I guess.
Hard
That is the one thing. Like you can't go like, all right, I'm gonna start barefoot hiking and jump like straight into gravel and like hard, sharp sticks and stuff like that, like moss and dirt. Start with that, and then go slower into, you know, bigger and better things and harder, rocky surfaces. It's really. Like, I just can't stress enough how different of an experience it is. So, I think
I'm gonna try it this week.
you should.
I'm excited.
I'm going away. Well, aren't you lonely today? Aren't you lost in the fade?
All right, guys, and that brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you for being here for our first guest episode. We had so much fun. Thank you, Christian, for presenting your opinions on the singularity theory and also barefoot hiking. So we really want to know what you guys think. And you can head over to our Instagram, which is very.unimportant.people. You can send us an email at hatersclickhere@gmail.com, and that's H8TRS clickhere@gmail.com. We're on Twitter. You can find us at VUnimportantPPL. We're also on TikTok. And that's it for us this week. Have a great... Also, check out Sandpaper Meadows.
Yes.
Go check them out right now.
Laugh away.
Have a great...
that I'm going insane. Well, aren't you feeling the same? Well, aren't you lost and afraid? Well, I'm trying to load to say. Well, to a previous day, when me and you were okay. Ferociously convince your pants and proudly pull you away with the potion, provoking your preposterous ways makes you hopeless, you're so entertained by a dream of a brighter days. And I know that you're burning, illogically hurting the day, and you're scorching and torching the love of your mates. Now you're lonely and slowly decaying away. Keep searching